This is the Dark City show. And, well, it's kind of like Hemp Wednesday. We did say we were going to do this. We really did. So this is like Hemp Wednesday. The Dark City, is it the Roundtable? Same thing as usual. Any other Dark City, if you're out there listening, join us. Of course, we are rolling over from the Rick Simpson show, and we have still got a few people left with us from that. And if you were tuned in then, and you haven't just tuned in for this, which I can see some have just dropped off and come on, so... then we have got a few people with us from the last show, and that loose topic as we start this is, lo and behold, hemp, which it might be on Hemp Wednesday. Bit of a clue there. But as we kind of made it up a while ago, and it only just jumped back into my pea-sized consciousness, it has been rattling around for a while. I thought I might as well mention that, and we'll make that a reality. So, we're just discussing, actually, in the break, regarding, or right at the end of it, about the oil not being available in many cases. And during the break, this kind of came back to our old little mate again, money. You see, this has already happened in the UK. I know I covered it quickly before, but it's about law as well. Maybe Dave Matthews may join us on one of the shows, and he can throw some in here for us. And Dean Clifford as well, big supporter of this. We'll have to kind of tap them up for a bit more information. But what actually happened here is through the change in legislation that actually took place, because we had what was it called? When it came out, it was dubbed as the Nut Report, because the guy's called Professor Nut. Clever, aren't they? How they pick these people. But it was is it a Queen's Commission or something like that into what needed and didn't need to be legislated. And the means for this was horse riding. So if it was more dangerous than horse riding, then we needed to have a look at legislation. If it was less dangerous than horse riding, then no legislation was actually required. So lo and behold, cannabis, you may have already worked this out, it came out a lot less than horse riding. In fact, you want to stay away from horses, if you look at that. I mean, because they're dangerous. Horse riding, right? Not really when it comes to smoking cannabis. Well, it's very dangerous. Now, that's not me. Right, that's the risk. You need to remember to mute that microphone when you put them down, folks. So that's not me. That's what actually comes out. But they looked at this. They looked at this and they went, "Wow!" And at that point, if my memory serves me correct, cannabis had been put down to Class C, a Class C controlled drug. Now, that occurred. Cannabis is cheaper. It's not as serious. Blah 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 blah. It's not a problem. The report comes out which says you don't need to legislate. Guess what they do? They take it from Class C and move it up to Class B, but then they make the actual fines less for Class B. Okay? Class B. So it's less now. It's a more serious charge, but the fine's less. Let's have a quick look at this, because it's something I looked at. Misuse of Drugs Act. Okay? And now again, for my consciousness, if I get it a bit wrong, excuse me. I'm not a professional. Misuse of Drugs Act. Any drug that's prescribed... You have to let him mute that microphone. Any drug that's prescribed must do what it's prescribed to do, must not have undue side effects, must be seen to increase the quality and benefits of life of the prescribee. Roughly. Okay? If a doctor misprescribes you a drugs, okay, undue side effects, hear me out, undue side. Remember, this is the same law that's used to say that you can't have cannabis. Exactly the same law. So if a doctor prescribes you with a drug and it has got undue side effects, it doesn't increase the quality and benefits of your life, then it's a misprescribed drug. It's been misprescribed. So what happens? What happens now? Do you got your policeman? No. Do you go, hang on a minute, isn't it the same classification then as cannabis? Yes. That's about right. Might even be Class C, might be less. Class C, Class B drug. Many of them. but you've been misprescribed it by your doctor, and you've took it, and you've got ill, right? This is a case of going to somebody in the street and you buy some cannabis. Okay? Exactly the same. There's no difference here, right? Except one guy's a professional and he's giving you, and he should know better. He really should know better. Well, of course, the guy doesn't. When it happens, it never happens with cannabis because there is no undue side effects, and it does increase the quality of life of the prescribee. Of course, it can't be prescribed, so that makes it illegal. So they say. But just kind of say, sticking to that point of the law of the Misuse of Drugs Act, and they are doing that. So what happens? Do you go to the policeman? You got a policeman saying, Mr. Policeman, this man here has given me a drug under the Misuse of Drugs Act. There he is, my doctor. And they'll say, no, you have to go to the medical people and talk to them. And you go off to the medical people and you say to the medical people, excuse me, and this is in the UK, I don't know how it is, but this is exactly what happens in the UK. You say to them, right, my doctor has he's done wrong. He's done wrong, He's committing euthanasia and killing people all the time, right, by giving them massive doses of morphine. Oh, no, actually, no, that's already happened, hasn't it? He was called Harold Shipman, so we think we would have learned through this. But you know what happens? You have to report the doctor to himself. Himself, that's right. You have to report the doctor, you have to report your doctor to your doctor, and your doctor then decides if he was negligent in giving you the drugs under the Misuse of Drugs Act that actually did. I mean, there's no argument. The argument's gone. It's over. But guess what? Just like Harold Shipman, most of the doctors go, what do you mean? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm God. I can do whatever I like. I can sit over judgment of myself. Now, look, I'm not saying all doctors are like Harold Shipman, right? And that they're all killing people every day by prescribing them drugs that don't actually do increase the quality of life of the prescribed. Hang on a minute. But hey, I'm not saying they all are like, well, pretty much almost of them are, I know that. But hey, I'm sure there's ones out there. Anyway, forget me trying to support the doctors, right? It would appear, right, from what I've actually just said, that they're all either not doing what they signed their oath to do, or they're all breaking the Misuse of Drugs Act. So what would happen now? And what would happen, right? You get the doctor, right, and they all agree with you. You take him down to the police, he goes to court. No, he wouldn't even get to court. He'd go to the police station and he'd say to the police, I've done wrong, caution me. And they say, no, you can't. You can have a fixed penalty fine of £65, now go away. Hang on a minute. Does that mean if he kills somebody? Oh, yeah. Because as long as he accepts that, the maximum penalty for a Misuse of Drugs Act, if you'll check, it's a fixed penalty. Probably wouldn't even go to court. So don't anybody tell me that there's justice and it's fair. Because one of them doesn't have undue side effects. In fact, if you get the right one, the worst thing it's going to do to you is put you to sleep. All right, well, they're not, none of them are wrong, right? But if you go for a sativa, right, you're not going to go to sleep. You're going to stay awake and dribble for a while, right? Might not be what you're looking for. The best thing to do, especially when you're getting into it, is go for the indicas. Because the worst thing that'll do is you'll feel tired and you'll go to sleep. Probably have a really good dream as well. Could be pretty cool. So yeah, getting yourself into a real relaxed state of consciousness. Now I'm not sure which one of you it was that sent me a little bit of message about no alcohol meditation. Yeah, I kind of get that. I kind of get that. I can't actually see people getting into that relaxed state that's required, with a scotch and a Benson and Hedges or a Camel cigarette, right? Oh yes, we're down in Spain, taking in a few of the rays. It just ain't kind of going to work. I just don't get that. Maybe it does. If anybody knows any alcoholic-induced meditation techniques, don't let me know, because I'm not even going to bother trying. So yeah, it would appear that if we can, well, I'm not going to say if we can anymore, because stage one's going to happen. Stage one is going to happen, like I say. Other people have put it in, and I'll email this guy who's I'm saying a guy in case who's made and find out if they want the name to go up and so forth. So yeah, it's really cool that people are doing this. I don't really know what to say about it. But anyway, so I don't go down my rabbit hole and get all tongue twisted and stuff. Let me throw it over to the room, to the Darkcity crew, who's still about with us, because he's a room full. There's loads of people here. And join us, like I say. Hiya, Don. Join us, like you say. Anyone. Skype in at Bob's Backyard, or ring us on, if you're outside the UK, plus 44 161 298 0298. Or if you're inside the UK, you just put a 0 on it. So it's 0161 298 0298. See, trick you by calling it as an O and a 0. I don't know why I do that. Same number, innit? It's not actually an O. Don't put an O in. Put a 0 in. It won't work if you put an O in. Don't know why I keep tricking you all. Maybe that's why our American brothers and sisters have not been able to get through. Oh, it's not an O. Right, it's a 0. Yeah, excuse me. Right, go on, Dawn. Welcome back. She sneaked off for a bit. She's back now.
Yeah, I'm just back for a little while, but I wanted to bring up we've been talking about, obviously, the Rex Housen show was on before this, and there was a lot of talk about like the thing that's happening in Spain and whatnot. This isn't directly this 2-6 bit of background noise. Right, this isn't directly related, but it is related in a way, because we're talking about Big Pharma here. People who might not really think that Big Pharma is nasty or be very skeptical about it. There is some really good books out there that, if you can get a hold of them, I would really suggest that you read them. One of them is called The Crime and Punishment of IG Farben. That's by Joseph Borkin. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about IG Farben in a second. Treason's Peace is another one. Treason's Peace, German Dies and American Dupes. That's IG Farben's Hidden Power Agenda. That's by Howard Watson and Bruster. And there is one other one, Corporate Crime in the Pharmaceutical Industry by John Braithwaite. That's a particularly... Well, it's not that it's hard to get hold of if you've got the cash, but I mean, because it's available on Amazon, but it costs hundreds of dollars or whatever, pounds. But these 3 books are really definitely worth reading. Now, IG Farben has got quite a history. Some of you might be aware of the fact that there was like the trials, the IG Farben trials after World War II and everything, and it was a lot of corruption and question about crimes against humanity because of IG Farben, which was actually, 70 years ago, a conglomeration of oil, pharmaceutical, chemical, military, supply and eugenics interests were organised by Wall Street into IG Farben, Standard Oil, Hitler's industrial powerhouse. So IG Farben's relationships with American corporations enabled them to apply modern technology to the task of eugenics or scientific racism, basically. Along with Rockefeller's Standard Oil, Chase Manhattan Bank, Mellon's Gulf Oil, Aluminum, DuPont's Chemicals, General Motors and Henry Ford and banks and shipping companies operated by the Bush family were crucial players in setting up the industrial power behind the Third Reich. These companies poured hundreds of millions of dollars into IG Farben and provided it with technology. And according to Encyclopedia Dramatica, Dramatica, I've got Dramatica in the brain. Encyclopedia Britannia. IG Farben built and operated more than 40 concentration camps. There was like the Auschwitz stuff. Now, IG Farben trials. So what I was talking about, the trials, the war criminals, why it's still relevant today is because a lot of these men that were in the trials were acquitted. So at least 10 of them were acquitted. There was 24 altogether. 10 of them were acquitted, and many of them went on to be re-employed or like put on the boards of the new pharmaceutical corporations that formed as a result of the so-called shutdown of IG Farben, which never really happened. It just morphed into other companies like Hoxt, I think it is, Bayer, and BASF. So they're still, I mean, to this day, there is still influence by these war criminals. Some of them have died, yes, but there is obviously a lot of as kind of went on. So I thought I would like to bring that up because yeah, it does, like, big pharma is quite very corrupt, and obviously a lot of people are still under the belief that they're there to do good for us, but that's not really the case.
Yeah, totally agree, Don. They're not there helping us out, are they? They're not. They're 100% not there to kind of give us an helping hand. Oh, look, we're going to come along. And I mean, one of the big ones is like I say, you mentioned earlier, Rick stuff. I mean, what they're trying to do, patent the plant.
Jabba's just messaged me there saying that IG Farben owns Monsanto. The IG Farben delivers gas and other stuff to the Nazi camps. They delivered them. The gas to them.
And if I may, I mean, the petrochemical, like the oil industries and the pharmaceuticals are directly intertwined. I mean, the fertilizers and the pesticides from the byproducts of the oil making process, like, I mean, that goes into the soils, that goes into our foods, but even some other byproducts from the oil refining process are even put into pharmaceuticals. So, I mean, both Standard Oil or just oil companies and pharmaceuticals are almost the same thing, and they are poisonous through food, pharmaceuticals, through our water supply. It's an unhappy situation we have to deal with.
They're all viciously connected to each other, and definitely I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I think since this is Hemp Wednesday, I mean, hemp, if I might get on a soapbox for a second, is one of the most effective ways that we can destabilize these systems of power and control over our health and wellness. I mean, when you, like we said previously, when you grow your own food, shelter, healthcare, fuel, and clothing, I mean, that you're directly undermining those systems of power that say you need to eat this food that is at the grocery stores and take these medicines and to buy this fuel so you can take your car from here and there. And I mean, if hemp was, like, hypothetical situation, if hemp was grown by the state of Colorado, the feds, the UK, I don't know, if they grew the hemp along medians and roadways, they could process that oil, use that oil for lorries, for semis, for city buses. They could use the herds, and they could build their FEMA camps or their prisons, and they could even use the strands for their prison clothes or whatever. I mean, if the state were to grow hemp, they could actually, like, grow their net worth instead of just creating money out of debt and then taking that money from us again and then just perpetuating this base of need. The state could actually provide something, but I don't know. I don't know if the state needs to do that, but if they had an interest in the well-being of their constituents, that could be a good idea.
It's quite clear the ones pulling the strings don't. Den in the chat, I just want to throw this in before somebody else jumps in. Den in the chat said about IG Farben were responsible for producing heavy water for Nazi nuclear bombs, and there was a big Farben factory next to one of the work camps. And Den also said Encyclopedia Dramatica, because my slip up when I said Encyclopedia Dramatica. I've probably been spending too much time on Encyclopedia Dramatica, but he says it's probably the correct word for the publication. I wouldn't agree, because it was definitely Encyclopedia Britannica, and whilst I don't hang on the words of every publication that I read, I do tend to critically analyse what I read and look into things, but I do I have done a bit of research into what I was talking about there. So yeah, I think I know something about what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't know a great deal about them, mate, to be honest. Just that they're cheating, lying, thieving scum. Really, I mean, I don't really need to go much further. I mean, like I say, it's, maybe I'm a bit simple. You know?
I'm smiling, Dan. Yeah, he's just smiling in the chat, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know a great deal about Big Pharma, really. To be honest, I can rely on other people's information and knowledge on that. Like I say, I come across them when they were trying to patent a plant. You know, Josh, you mentioned about putting it down the freeways for you, down the sides of the motorways. You know, we have problems in many cities with carbon monoxide opposed to CO2. You know, which is carbon dioxide, isn't it? That's right. Again, hey, I did well there. So. Yeah, I mean, by planting, as you say, man, this is, you know, if you just forget all the benefits you've just mentioned, then it'll actually clean up the air on the sides of freeways as well.
Yeah, and it's a phytoremediator, so it'll take the oil and toxins from the soil right there on the thing, and it'll provide a buffer for animals. I mean, if somebody's driving and they fall asleep and they start driving through the hemp, that'll wake them up. I mean, it's kind of like a rumble strip too. I mean, I don't know. It could be safe and it could be beneficial for those in the community around it. I mean, if you grow hemp on the streets or on the roadways, and then there's processing facilities, either communal processing facilities or privatized processing facilities, they could provide hemp oil and other biofuels that would provide competition against these large gas companies and oil companies. Like, I don't know, it gives power and liberty to the people again, I think, when we grow hemp, because we grow all that we need and more, really.
You don't actually think that there's, you know, I'm playing devil's advocate here a bit, Josh, you'll have to excuse me, but you wouldn't actually think that these petrochemicals companies had something to do with, like, hemp being not available, would you, somehow? You know, perhaps they might have had something to gain. Excuse me, that was a loaded question.
No, I mean, of course. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was, at least in the States, it was made illegal around 1937 when timber industry was being directly in competition with hemp. I mean, oil, even plastics. Like, from hemp, you can make any you can make any biodegradable plastic from hemp. So, I mean, you can grow your car out of hemp and then run it on hemp oil like Henry Ford wanted to do. So it is in direct competition with pharmaceuticals, with Standard Oil, and I would even have to say with the debt-based monetary system that the IMF is using to control people, because, I mean, it's green gold in my mind. Like, it cures cancer, and it's worth more than any money or a piece of paper or anything like that. So, I mean, it really undermines these huge institutions, and they know it and they're afraid of it, and that is why it is illegal. So, but the tide is changing. I mean, I heard Uruguay just legalized, or they'd been legalized for a little while. Another country in South America just legalized, Colorado, Washington. I mean, it's happening and it's growing, and I mean, this is a very, very good thing for humanity. I mean, when we can start providing the meal, like when you squeeze the seeds and you get the oil out, you can use the oil for fuel for cooking, but that also creates a meal, which is kind of like protein powder with omegas and stuff in it, and you can give that to either cattle, sheep, that kind of things, or you can make it into a meal and give it to people that are starving to wean them back to health, because hemp seed has all the amino acids, a perfect balance, 1 to 3 of omega-6s and 9s for human consumption, not to mention the 33% protein that's in the seed. So, I mean, it's a useful plant. It's a partner of humanity, and we need to grow it everywhere.
Where have you been, Josh? Joshua, where have you been? Yeah,
hiding in the mountains of Colorado.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Do you know,
Go on, Lee.
You know what? Absolutely brilliant, Josh. Love it. Absolutely love it. But you know what was amazing? You only scratched the surface of what it's good for.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we don't even know. We don't even know what the oil is going to do, and what the hemp. No, you're right.
No, it's just the hemp plant itself. You know, there's like so much that's just happening with it. Obviously, you touched on the fuel then, but you got the construction when they're doing the hempcrete and also the hemp beams and the hemp press boards. The construction companies are raving over it now. It's such a stronger than wood, almost as strong as steel when they're making pressed boards out of hemp to do listings and over doors and supporting beams. It's just amazing. They're doing somersaults over it at the moment. And then obviously on the energy side of things, I don't know if you've heard about the supercapacitors that are heading into our mobile phones and mobile devices, which is like a 5-second charge, and it will last you all day discharging your mobile phone. And the key element on it was graphene, which was a monocarbon layer, atomic layer of carbon. But now they've realised they can do it with the hemp plant, with the cellulose from hemp, exactly the same thing. And what was it? Per kilo was 47,000 kilowatts of power can store per kilo.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing. It really is, like, that we can make these plastics that are biodegradable and such things. And it's just a change in perspective. Like, our society is basically fueled on death. Like, we build our houses out of trees that we cut down, obviously dead now. We bring dead dinosaurs and plant material up from the ground and use that to fuel our cars. And I mean, we can grow all this stuff that reproduces annually, and it's inane, really, to have a society function on death. Like, if we act in that manner, then we are like a cancer on the face of the earth. But if we actually are beneficial and are good stewards and caretakers of the land and help heal the soil, like with the hemp plant, I mean, we can kind of change our role a little bit, I think. And hemp definitely is a piece of the puzzle to that.
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, another amazing thing that always I'm just amazed by is hemp. Obviously, it's 100% recyclable. Every stage of it can be used for another stage to create something different, even when you don't need it anymore, whether it's packaging, whether it's knocking a building down. You can use it again to create something else with it further down the production cycle. It's amazing. And then the last thing, obviously, it turns into fuel. We do with the alcohol and shit. Just amazing how it just keeps going. It's just never seems to amaze me. All new things they're just finding with it, and of course, on top of that, it's made for us, isn't it? We evolved with it, definitely.
Right, just if you are calling us in, please mute your microphone when you arrive, and the caller, if you just want to join the call again, you'll be right. You'll be right back in. No worries. Just let me touch in on this again, right? So, because there's loads. I know there's loads, guys. I just want to kind of pick a couple of them, if I may. Right, I'm a petrol pump attendant. Right, what's going to happen to me? Peter, you need to mute your microphone. We got loads of noise off you, bro. Hello. Hello there. Yes.
You hear?
Yes, just about.
All right. Wow. I didn't expect to be on air immediately. Well, is Rick Simpson on there?
No, if you were listening live, Rick's not been on this evening, and we've moved off the Rick Simpson show, or the not so Rick Simpson show, and we're on the Darkcity show, man. But welcome. The topic actually is, well, it's Hemp Wednesday, because I just called it that about half an hour ago. So yeah, welcome, bro. It's your radio. What do you want to know?
Well, I appreciate the work you're doing, Darkcity Radio and everything. I mean, honestly, this show is my favorite show. I can't wait for every week to hear a new one. You know, the information you're getting out there, it's helping, so much people. And I'm hearing more people talk about Rick Simpson every day in every place, all over the world now. So, I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's your radio, man. It's your radio. We built it for people like yourself and Rick and everyone else, It really is. So we, by listening, you've been, that's it. That's it. A lot of it At the end of the day, without the people out there listening to it, the repeat shows, clicking the buttons, the network we're actually building it, or we've kind of built. I'm a bit still in awe of it all, Peter. I really am. Blows me away, man. It's still, but without everyone, like I say, it doesn't matter what position you take, what role you take. We're all vitally important in this. All vitally important. So yeah, it's whatever we can do. Whatever.
I'm trying to get the message out to as many people as possible. I mean, I sent a lot of emails to Alex Jones until finally when he finally announced, that he's at least, he talked about the Rick Simpson oil a little bit on the show. And there's a documentary coming out called Shade the Motion Picture. And I sent them a couple emails too. So I really hope they put that in the documentary. It's about the depopulation of the planet. And I really think a key role in depopulating the planet is, suppressing cannabis and make sure we don't have access to it, or that it's so expensive that people can't afford Rick Simpson oil, because that's really how they're preventing us from having it, making sure it's so expensive.
Alex does a great job in what he does in singing to the choir that he's singing to. He really does. But can you imagine how well it? Once we've got hemp right everywhere like cabbage, you think you're going to get adverts like, buy your protein plus pills? You with me? From Truth.4 Radio, let's get ready for the disaster. Buy yourself your survival pack. Bury it underground with your heirloom seeds. We'll dig you up in 1,000 years and think you had a Viking burial. Bury yourself in the ground with the now new protein bomb-proof family shelter. Do you honestly think, man, once we've got hemp, that any of them advertisers are actually going to have anywhere to advertise?
Sure.
I mean, Alex does a brilliant job, and I know he works along with the lizard wizard, and he's got a lot of dancing reptilians. That's great. Fair enough. Wonderful stuff. Brilliant choir. The rich elite don't listen to me, bro. They don't listen to me. They can't listen to me because I'm a working class bloke from just outside Manchester. Right?
Yeah. It's
actually Manchester, but if you say Manchester, it makes you sound cooler, right? So I'm told by the kids. I'm not very good at it. But yeah, that's the crack. They ain't going to listen to me. Well, they'll listen to Alex, and in time, right, because their consciousness, right, what they did is they all had really nice, rich food, which was infected with brain tissue disease, right? We didn't catch it. They caught it, right? That soft tissue. So it's going to take their heads a little bit longer before it actually sinks in.
Yeah,
trying to, living against one another in this feudal system where you get angry at people because you're not doing it, right? It's going to die out. That, it really is. That ideology is on its way out, bro. Hemp, networking, frisbee, and another Canadian American actually. I'm not quite too sure now when I say it, but I'm pretty sure he's American, or at least I thought he was. He changed my perception, and that was a guy called Stephen Cubby. He was the first Stephen Cubby. He was Cubby, yeah. He was the first of the. He was number one urban garden. They took him down now. Urban growers, is it? Urban gardener. Does a load on the internet. Loads of stuff, and he was the first one, man. Video number one, and he said it. This old world, attitude of guns and war and football and alcohol.
Exactly.
That's over. That's over, man. Our, mine and yours, and anybody listening to this now or later, whenever you hear it. But we are live now. Honest, can't be live. Anyway, rabbit hole. Our society is networking. It's the internet. It's frisbee. And it's hemp.
Exactly.
Because those make the world green again. Now, look, this planet isn't got a problem. Yeah, I see this planet, it's like a supercomputer, and us as individuals, we plug into it, right? And we go, hey, it's not working. Yeah, Paul, give us that battery. And we try and jumpstart it to get it to do the way we want it to do it. And if we could just kind of appreciate that, whoa, the entire system's built on destruction.
Exactly.
And they have got the capabilities to change that, to change this world that we've all learned from destruction and one walking upon another, and that can change. Now, I don't know what happens there fundamentally, bro. But what I do know, it ain't gonna harm anyone. Not whatever position they're in. You know, from the Litcher Wheat, Monsanto, robbing, thieving, cheating scum, right? Okay, even them, it's going to benefit them, man. Because what we're attempting to do is beneficial to all of us. You know, before you rang, man. I was trying to take Joshua down me. You know, I'm a pipe. You know, I'm there with my pipe. What are they called? Petrol attendant. You know, a gasoline attendant, right? And I hear us talking. Well, I'll be out of a job. What will I do? It's all right, brother. Do you know, you pump biofuel made from hemp, which is growing up the street. And you know something, right? You won't need all that asthma shit for your kids, because the actual fuel we'll be burning won't be toxifying your air. Your air will be cleaner, right? There'll be less, more oxygen in the air, because we've got plants growing all around. There's loads of them, right, which are brilliant at doing this. They're really good at doing it, right? That means you'll be able to think better because you're getting more oxygen. Most of us aren't even thinking right. You know, most aren't dehydrated. We are actually dehydrated for the majority of the time. This doesn't help you thinking straight. And slowly but surely, bro, we'll all start breathing a little bit deeper, and we'll wake up from this nightmare. I'm really being aware. I kind of swear quite a lot, mate. Right, and I'm aware we've got quite a few American viewers. I'm doing my best, all right? They will slip out. Bastards. They are robbing us. They are. I had to get that one out quick. I knew it was coming. So I'll try and give you a warning, my foreign brothers and sisters who get offended by the word. But really, if you're going to get upset at me dropping a few F's, Q's and P's, then, you know, fuck off. This isn't the station for you. Oops! Excuse me. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. We've been offended a lot. You know, we have been offended a lot. Our peace has been breached. You know, we've been lied to and we've been cheated. And what we're actually saying is, that's got to stop. Simple, isn't it, really, mate?
Yeah. And we're the change that's doing that. I mean, you know, us in combination, you know, good people like you and Rick Simpson and Junior Spare and all these people are spreading the message. You know, and the best, I honestly believe the best message to spread to help the world is this cannabis message, because, you know, all the problems it's going to solve with, you know, energy and, you know, all the things you can build with it, and especially the medicinal properties. So, you know, I'm probably going to have to go now, but I appreciate everything you're doing, and definitely keep spreading this message. I'm a huge supporter, and as soon as I get money, I'll try to support your movement more, because I really believe in it, and I think it's the best movement in the world right now.
Well said, Peter. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And listeners, look, there's only 100 slots left. Peter's another one. Look, they're all going to nickel. That's it, Peter. Go on, you knock it to them, man. Any way you can. Don't worry about the money side of it, man. Loads of us are broke. It will come together. I don't want anybody skinting themselves out to do this. That's not what it's about. You know, but then people who've been sat on their ass for months and months, start selling your stuff. I've been sat on my backside for months. I'm going to start selling mine. I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm going to take a load of the gear I haven't touched, seen, smelled, looked at, put it on the internet, sell it, and put the money in the foundation thing, whatever it's called. What's it called? The Compassion Club. Association. Depends. If you're listening in Spain, it's association. If you're in the eastern bloc of the world, it's called Yinya Ogi. And if you're like from the rest, it's a club. Depends where you are in the world. But we'll get there, Pete. We'll get there, man.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Welcome, bro. Right, so where was I? My petrol guy, you know, he's going to end up doing that, isn't he? And plus his water and his food's going to be cleaner. Like I say, the only people who's going to have a problem with it, who has got a problem with this? This is what I'm struggling for now. You know, who would want to kind of actively stop us doing this? You know, why? I mean, do you think the governments or anybody, you know, in them kind of them presumed realms of authority with all the cash? Do you reckon they know? You know, if you do, please steal our idea and implement it immediately. I do not mind. You can take it away. Take the idea. Think there was just Northern Drum Circle hippie bastards have come up with it again. Yeah, it does actually look like the hippies got it right, and I'm not too pleased about that. I must say, I'm not actually a naturally born hippie, but it does look like they've got it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like a good drum circle, and I've joked about this lot for quite a while about this, but there is a time where we've got to kind of, put the drums down, and stop singing Kumbaya, pull his fingers out of his backsides and start to make this dream a reality, because it's here. I've heard from a lot of people, oh yeah, we've been working on it for 30 years, and hang on a minute. Yes, I know all about it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, but we've got to stop working on it now. Stop working on it. Work in practice. Practice is over. Right. Let's do it. I mean, really, do it. I know, you say, I spoke to Rick earlier, and then Rick was saying that they should always keep that 300 €300 donation thing as the founders. And I'm like, well, we can do this. We get more people, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, we need to keep it. We need to keep it because we need to do more. And I'm like, yeah, I've got you. So you see, we need hundreds. That's right. We need to make this real. But it will remain, because there'll be another and another and another. But to get another, we've got to get one. That's why all I'm asking, right, is that we do go and get people. You go to your circles, you go and see your friends, you put this information. There's a little video up, right? At the moment, it's got about 500 hits on it. We went and whacked it all yesterday. Got about 303 and it virtually stopped. It did 200 almost overnight. 200 hits. Slap it everywhere. 500 hits, right? That's for Spain. Out of that 500 hits, and this radio station, and I do presume it got, well, I know it got twittered, because I went and twittered it and tweeted, and I don't know what you do, but I did a lot of it. And I suggest we all do that. We've got to keep doing it. I mean, literally, the exercise, right, is roll your joint, light it, start clicking your button, right? Right, that, viral. Viral.
Yeah.
That's what we're just that one little thing. Now, there's another video coming out, right? We should all be practiced then. When we get the nice video with Rick, instead of the little, it's not very good. I appreciate it's not very good. I threw it together. I should have took more time over it. But I got people banging on the door, literally saying, how do we help? How do we help? We want, and bang. Yeah, I'm trying to the best of my ability, go with the organic nature of this and not hold it up. So some things have been a bit rushed. We have to do them backwards. But we get them done. But if we push that, right, Rick's book's just come out, right? It's a great thing to be, it's a great time for Rick. You check Google Trends in the last 3-4 months, boom, for 48%, 98, 100. That's where he is. There's no better time. We said we'd do that. We all said we'd come together and focus and make Rick's dream real. We're not there yet. We're not there, we're not. But together, all of us, come on, it sounds like we might have all been sharing the same dream. Joshua came on, bro. Joshua, he said, yeah, but he's kind of like permaculture, we can do all that. And we're like, wow. He said, it's like a blueprint. It's like, Joshua, it's Darkcity Radio. Yes, you see? It's not ours. It's not my idea or Rick's dream or your idea, Peter. Yours, Joshua, Sparky, Lee. All you listeners out there, it's our idea. It doesn't belong to anybody else.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's our idea. All of it.
The Creative Commons, the collective conscious. It's all out there floating around and shit.
I reckon, man. I mean, I think the problem with the collective consciousness, most people go, wow, what's that? It's mine. My consciousness. Mine. It's like, oh, where is that? I don't know why they call them sheeple. They're more like seagulls, aren't they? It's mine. Mine. And we just seem to have that possession thing going on. I reckon once we recognise that, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Like we're recognising now, aren't we? People have said it's history. At times, it can be quite lonely. It can be quite lonely. And I mean, somebody explained, he said, well, it's the edge. It's the leading edge. Nobody's going to know what you're talking about. right? It's occupational hazard. You wanted to be in the forefront? You wanted to write history? No, not really. Well, you have. It's too late. You know, it's too late for us to turn back. It really is. I mean, what's the alternative? Until we all die out? Is that the alternative? We cough and we splutter and then that's it? Nah. You know, if people want to live, right, in their social little world, you know, where Coronation Street, EastEnders, the soaps, who's got plastic boobs is more important, right, in your life than your environment, your health, your wealth, your well-being, harm, loss, deception, breach of the peace. Carry on! Be my guest, just carry on. But eventually, our door will close. We can't support them forever, you know. The creative ones of us, the divergent thinkers, the ones who think outside the box, the rule breakers, the outlaws, the honourable, trusted, just people of this planet, we can't support these feeders forever. Not forever. Of course, we can always help those who want to help themselves, as long as it's not at the cost of others. Now, I haven't got any issues with what we're doing or how we've all worked together, and you know what us people do. I haven't. I have had. I've been scared of it. You know, they could lock me up. They could throw away the key, man. You know, I've been hosting a show with Rick Simpson for like 25 shows or something, and he's been telling everybody you can cure cancer. That's impossible in this country, man. You can't come up with a cure for cancer. All right. Well, actually, I didn't. And neither did Rick. He didn't come up with a cure for cancer. He didn't.
Yeah.
I think the Mayans might have had it before him, and maybe I don't know. I mean, I do know for a fact that the Egyptians were using it. The Victorians had it. I tell you what we'll do. We'll get the Victorians in the dock. Because they must have done it. It's ridiculous. You know? Ridiculous. But, you know, man, it's something I can rant on for months, days, weeks, hours and years. And what buzzes me up when I meet new people. I mean, Joshua today, I just want to interrogate Joshua for ages. Because I know he's got loads of stuff when he started. And it bugs our Lee up. Because we're really about the positive sides of all this. There is a lot of shit in our world. I'm not disputing that, you know. But come on. We're alive, we're well, we're all breathing. We've made it this far. We've all made it this far. And you know, this has got to be the most important point you've ever got to. Because this is as far as any of us have ever got. You know? Let's just take another step. There's nothing to fear.
Do you mind if I ask 2 questions?
No, go on, mate. I'll wrap it on that. Shut me up.
No, I mean, it's really interesting. I just, now that I have this opportunity, I remembered what my original question was. And that I heard Rick Simpson talking about, I actually have myopia, which means I can't see things at a distance unless I use contact lenses. And I heard Rick Simpson, because I listened to all his shows, I heard him say something about the oil might be able to make your eyesight better. Do you have any information on this?
Oh, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm not medically qualified, man, and I don't know. I mean... None
of us are medically qualified, but I mean, we have...
I have heard stories, I mean, from both Gendrich and Rick Simpson, but I've also seen some other anecdotal ones where people are putting the essential oil like on their eyelids and near their temples, and I mean, it will reduce pressure for glaucoma, and over a period of time, if you do apply it to your eyelids. I even heard Rick saying that if he eats it over a period of time, like he saw that his own eyesight improved. So I would agree. What I was going to say is that I can't, medically advise you on this, man, but it definitely won't kill you or make it worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Become that, but document it, Peter. Document it, bro. So many of us. I mean, mine's documented with my doctors, but they won't actually write down cannabis on anything. And I go in and what's wrong with you? Nothing. All right. Are you a bit anxious? No, I'm not anxious. Oh, anxiety. I'm not anxious. Stop it. I'm not anxious. It's lying, cheating. They'll just write down cannabis. I'll go home. No. But you see, I'm cured. I'm a paradox in their world. I can't actually exist in their world. No. That's ridiculous. You cure yourself, right? What good are you to them? What good are you? Well, there's no money in you. Get on your way. I don't know you. No money in you, mate. Nah, go on. No price tag on you. No price tag on you. Still got all your own teeth. Come on, line up. Ching ching. 9 o'clock, everybody. Time to start on your slave machine. Whoa. Hey, you know, it is. I lived that life, bro. I lived it over and over and over again. And to an extent here, with what I've had to do with Darkcity, I've had to return to that life. I really have. I've had to kind of step back into the darkness to a degree. You know, I've had to start, give it all up. All of it. You know, and I've had to kind of get into the bills again and paying for this and paying for that and make sure it is. I've had less money, right, than I've ever had in my life, right, and I'm doing better now than I ever did before. You know,
so much.
Yeah, man, and I'm actually looking at all the other stuff and I'm like, wow, hang on a minute, I'm actually over the time I've been here all by myself, man. Sell the lot, do it easy. I can do it easy. Why aren't I doing it? Why am I not doing it? Because I don't want all you lot to not work together. I'm sure you all will anyway without me. You know, I'm sure they're ready. So why haven't I done it already? I can't answer that question. I can't answer why I haven't just rung up some property company. I don't do it now. Right, yeah, come and give it me. Just give me 30,000 euros. Come and take it. See you later, baby. Didink. What's the worst thing could happen? What's the worst thing could happen? I'd end up living in Spain on the streets with nothing because it'd all go wrong. Nobody'd support it. I'd end up waking up one night with 2 drunks pissing on me. Right back where I started. Not lost a thing. Hey, now to lose, eh? You know, I tell you what's happened, Peter. I tell you what's happened. People have come here to my home and they've said, can't do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Can't do it. No, can't do it. You've got to carry on. We'll do it. We'll do it. You've got to keep this place. And I didn't get it, man. And he went, well, yeah, this is where it started. Shit, it did. I can't deny that any longer. It did. It sat right in this room when I turned around to an old mate of mine who's on one hell of a trip. Don't know what's happened to him at the moment. It's just on a bad trip. It happens. That's how we've got to look at it.
Yeah.
And I looked, I said, should we have a go? Should we just have a go? They keep telling us we can't do it. Should we have a go? And 25 minutes later, maybe 25 minutes later, Darkcity went on the air. Built out of an old bits of data mining machine we had in the front room. Bit mining machine. So yeah, man. And since then, it's just got, like I say, on and on and on. So yeah, there's people actually turning up on the ground.
Do you mind if I ask one more question?
Oh yeah, go man, go. It's your radio. Take all night.
Okay. Well, just from my experience, what I realized is that once you, I'm really passionate about this issue because, you know, I really admire Rick. And what I realized is that you get 2 different reactions when you talk about this. You know, one reaction is you're the crazy stoner that just wants to get high. And a lot of people think that. And then there's a very small reaction where people actually appreciate what you're doing. And I don't know if you've experienced this or anyone who's listening has experienced this, but personally, like a lot of family members get really upset that you're talking about this because it's illegal. Not because you're harming anyone, but because it's illegal. And they'll say, you know, don't talk about it on Facebook. Don't, you know, just be quiet about it. And that's so hard for me to do because I know that, you know, Rick Simpson said, you know, once you know all this stuff about the plant, you know, it's criminal not to talk about it. You have to talk. You have to inform the world. So, like, how do you deal with all the people who will get upset that you're, you know, talking about an illegal plant?
Oh, that's all right, mate. They're upset anyway. That's a really easy one. You know, what can you do about it? They're offended. And why wouldn't they be offended? Look what's going on in the world they live in. We all live in this world together. It might be like, you know, like was it the Europeans? Is it the Europeans who said that there was 2 kind of lines going? You know, and that could be right. You know, I actually suggest there might be many more than 2. You know, there's lots of ways you can think about the same thing. Lots of ways, and that we're maturing. I think we're just maturing. I think we're quite a young adolescent race, really. I actually think if it was actually a race, you know, to make it to reach a point, I think we've made it. We don't have to fear anymore of destroying ourselves. I mean, it's very unlikely that the planet's going to destroy us. Very unlikely. It doesn't seem to be that way, although it seems to be built on destruction, and we learn through that. It doesn't seem to be about wiping our species out. Really doesn't. What is there actually to fear? 2 or 3 people in a chemical company that just can't... I don't think so, man. I think it's kind of become endemic. So the only thing we can do, and this is only my opinion, is have action.
Yeah.
Have action. I mean, I don't have any rules. I'm an outlaw. This doesn't mean that I want to rob and steal and pillage. Not at all. See, it means, quite simply, I don't need anybody to tell me what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I don't need laws to tell me. And maybe people do. I don't want to judge them. You know? So, them people, bro, that come up to you with this kind of stuff and they go, "You're a pot-smoking, beer-drinking, crack-smoker." You know, you just laugh at them and go, "Yeah, that's right." Yeah, and I'm going to go to Spain and save people's lives.
Right. If you feel committed to this, I mean, you go for it. Like, I even have family members who have cancer right now and aren't open to this. Like, they view that because I smoke cannabis, both sacramentally, recreationally, and medicinally, that degrades the information that I have to give to them. And that's just not the case. I mean, the science and the fact and the truth remains that this is, if not the most medicinal plant known to man, it's definitely one of them. And so just, I mean, that fact alone is impetus enough for me to just tell as many people as possible, just because people need to know about it. We need to become better educated. And it is because of mis and disinformation and fear-mongering that people react that way towards this herb. And so, I mean, just do what you feel convicted to do and preach that good word of the cannabis, I guess.
Yeah, we were actually accused that it sounded like a church. It sounded like a church. And I mean, they've got a point. They have got a point, man. I mean, I don't mean it to sound like we're preaching the word of cannabis, but Josh is dead right. It really is. I mean, yourself, Josh, and Lee touched on just a few of the points before, you know. And I know a lot of people are in fear of it. Oh, what's it going to do? There's nobody's going to lose the job. Well, there might be a few people, right, that lose kind of a bit of money if you thought working on the stock exchange and stuff. But don't worry, because we'll actually have a reusable product, right? A resourceable product, that cleans the atmosphere, right? Makes up soil. You can feed your... I'm not going down it, right? But you won't need to do all that work.
Exactly.
You won't need to. It's that simple. People, well, if 2/3 of the population want to sit around and be crack smoking, you know, that's fine. Because that's what happens anyway, isn't it? Isn't that what happens anyway? Aren't most of them just kind of like happy to watch the television and, you know, tune into Alex Jones, get a fucking dose of the fear whipping? You're all going to get you. You know, they're all going to come and get you. Well, where are they? You know, I've been hunted down, man. I've been chased. I've been on the run. I've done all that. You know, and at the end of the day, what happens? They lock you in a cell and they let you go because there's nothing they can do. You know, because, I don't think they're that different than us, really. You know, I think in a sense that we're the fortunate ones. We're the real fortunate ones because we can see this, man. There's so many people out there with, there's nothing. They haven't got anything. You know, and what are we? A voice coming out of the darkness of this city? A mythical city we created because we're not afraid to admit how dark it is out there. We've seen it. We're not afraid of it. You can't scare us with it. What are you going to do? Take away our homes, take away our land, take away our children, take away everything. Too late, brothers and sisters. They've already done it. No matter where you are, you know, this land belongs to me. Belongs to who? The facts that you're possessing land and that we need to think about buying land, it tells you there how messed up we are. How can we possibly possess land? You can't own it. You can't own land. It don't belong to us. Who? Because somebody put a flag in it 500 years ago? Come on. If that won't stand up right now, it shouldn't stand up. All right? The whole point about us progressing is we progress. We learn from our mistakes, not defend them. There's no point defending the mistakes. Where does it lead us? Every single time. We've got to wait for people to die before the new ideas actually cotton on. Nah, well, I'll tell you what, it's not fair. That's unfair, completely unfair. Now, I know nobody said it would be fair. I know. Because what I was told on my little mission, why I'm here, is it's going to be damned hard work. It is going to be hard. You're not going to have any time to rest or think. You're going to be on this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to wake up doing it. You're not going to stop. Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do, bro. Now, I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for you, Peter. I can speak for Josh and Sparky, Saddam and Lee, and every single one of them people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and whoever the guy is down in London who's been tuned on, yeah, as soon as we get a Darkcity mug, you did 2.5 days, man, without dropping the server. He beat you, Lee. Yeah, there's been a bit of a competition. It's great fun. This should be real good fun. We should be living in a land of utopia, right? Your consciousness should know pure ecstasy all the time. And I don't mean the drug ecstasy all the time, okay? Yeah, that's how it should be, right? And it isn't. That's why people are messed up. They do all sorts of stupid stuff. Add that to oxygen depletion, dehydration, complete shitty diet, and I'm guilty. Hey, I can hold my hands up with the rest of you, you know? You knock them things together, and before you know it, we're all running around blaming somebody else for some shit we could sort out. Like that. October. You know, how long are we giving us? How long are we asking the world? Think how many people are on the world. Think how many people you connect to, and they connect to, and everybody else connects to.
Yeah.
You know, Lee, our man in Spain, he put something up in our. We've got what do they call it? A crew room. So we can post things and get together and we can all help posting. He put it up. If you've not posted this on your wall and your groups by now, you should be disgusted with yourself. In fact, he was a bit stronger than that, actually. And we should. We should. You know, because what are we talking about? You know, think of all the numbers. Think of them all. Right? Is it getting knocked down? Is it getting knocked down? Are the numbers being cooked? They are within this kind of radio. We know that. We know it's fixed. We know it's cooked up. Alright? Your YouTube videos now, them videos are not being streamed, they're being streamed through advertising. You put advertising on your video, you'll get more hits. Check me out. Try it. And then let me know and I'll shut your advertising down just for a laugh. It's easy to do. Really easy to do. We've been had over and we've been conned for long enough. That's my routine on it, bro. That's my routine. I ain't got any choice, me. I've never had a choice.
Wow.
Have we ever had a choice? Can somebody tell me if actually, any of us, we've really made a free choice? Maybe when I was a kid, perhaps. You know, maybe I chose to jump in a puddle because it was there, you know, maybe I chose to run round and, you know, with no nappy on and poo on the carpet. I don't know. Do you know, I can't really tell you. If it did happen, it's too long ago. It's too long ago. Mm-hmm. It looks like we've always lived under demand. So that's all we know. Should we do this and do the other? No, we'll tell you what we'll do. Rather than doing one thing or the other thing, we'll just do one thing. You do you, Peter. I'll do me. We'll all do one another, right? But, and we'll sort it out. Because I've got my own bits of shit to sort out. Hey, and if oil helps me or helps others to get that sorted out, get into that state of consciousness, state of body, state of mind, whatever you want to call it, it has been used by shaman in shamanic practice for longer than any of us, collectively, than we've all lived on the planet, right? It's been around, whoa! And there's still no victim. It's never took a victim. Well, actually, there is one case about a bailey falling off a ship and crushing a man.
What?
But that was actually because it fell on him, not because he'd smoked it or got an overdose. But I suppose that's the only way you could actually truly overdose on cannabis. If it falls out of the sky and hits you on the head. Right? You know? I mean, and we've got to jump to ridiculous levels to actually find what is dangerous with it. But if you look in the marijuana cookbook, the early one, it does actually give you that article about the gentleman who died from cannabis. Of course, he didn't die through cannabis. He didn't. He died because he was crushed by a bale of cannabis that fell on him. So, yeah. The irony. Well, guys, we can go on for ages. We are still live. We've still got listeners out there, and they're still going up as we actually speak, so we must be doing something right here.
Are you going to put this online on the YouTube?
Oh, yeah, man. Well, everything we do goes up to the Darkcity Radio. Darkcityradio.com. I keep saying it because people who are listening might not know when they hear it. But eventually, man, we'd hope to move away from YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's not what it was. I loved YouTube, when it first come out. I've been using it for ages. It was great. I've got an original YouTube account that's never been signed over to anybody, and I'd like my share. Cheating, lying, thieving, scum, I'll tell you. Do you know, when that was sold originally, right, it was under the proviso, right, that any profits that were made went to the uploaders. Now, you have a look, right? You go and sign up now, it's, Google AdSense. What's Google AdSense? Pyramid selling. That is not sharing in the profits. That is not. No, if there's any profit, they're going to be made. You know? And they've lied and they cheated. That's how it goes, man. It's gone. A beautiful thing, a great thing, a real genius's idea, bought up, shelved, took over by the corporate giant yet again. Merchandise. You know, Bill Hicks. I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen Bill Hicks, right, rip into the people who work in merchandising. But you want to find that and listen to it because he's got it so right. So right. It really has. We're not all trying to sell something, you know. Some of us are trying to give things away freely. And that doesn't mean it's worthless. It means it's priceless.
Exactly.
They don't get it. They really don't get it.
Well, I love what you guys are doing. Peter, Paul, Lee, thanks for letting me be a part of this Dark City Radio for a brief period of time. Love the work that you're doing. Continue spreading the word of the hemp, and many blessings upon you. Enjoy. Thank you, guys.
Joshua, we need you back, man. We need to know more of your info. I sense that you have a lot of info in that, definitely.
Well, my friends, it would be an honor and a pleasure, so I look forward to that time.
We need you, mate.
All right.
That's how we
all right, be well. God bless. See you guys. Thank you.
Brilliant. Right. Well, I suppose we've got to stop somewhere, haven't we? We've got to end this somewhere, this little episode. We have got to end it somewhere. So, yeah, thanks, everyone, for kind of tuning in. It's great when Rick's here, but he listens. Trust me. Rick's listened.
Well, we appreciate you too. I mean, for hosting this. To be honest, this show makes me happier than any other thing on the internet. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, I actually wanted to call it the Fuck'em Show with Rick Simpson, but they changed it, man. I'm not actually a Christian. I don't have to forgive them. That is the only choice I think I've ever really made in my life, ever. Is to forgive them.
Yeah.
To forgive them. And you know when I did?
When?
I realised they'd created this opportunity for us, Peter. Sparky, all you lot out there. I know it's because I've met Peter, and Peter's here, he's responding to me. I keep talking to him, I forget. Forget about all you out there, but, do you know? That's the crack, man. As far as I'm concerned, that we're here, we're doing it. We really are. We really are, and I love to do it, man. I love to do this.
That's
like
great.
I said, I chose to forgive them. I did. That's simple as that. And in doing that, I learned to include myself. I forgived others, I included everyone. Because by then, I was lost. And in forgiving myself, I saw it. This position. All them that I thought had done wrong had actually provided me with this position I'm in now.
Exactly.
Not one I would have chosen, bro. It's one that was provided for me. And it scares them pants out of me. To be honest, it really does. Not like, oh, it's going to get me, but whoa, what's going to happen next? You won't believe it. It's great fun. And that's what it should be about, I'm convinced. Well, we have to touch on some real shitty topics sometime.
Yeah.
God, do you know? And I mean, I know we've got to do it, but I don't know what happens. Somebody just goes quiet and somebody goes, huh? Can we carry on? Do you know, laughter, do you know, just joining together and actually making this real.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know, like I say, what more could you ask for, really? End it. I don't want a position. I really don't. That's what I'd ask for. If I could make another choice now, right, this position would never be here. This plant would have never been taken away from us. We'd have free social use of it, absolutely everywhere. Right? You'd get angry kids off street corners being persecuted. The segregation of our society needs to end. Creed, colour, religion, politics. You know, this hierarchical system of they did it and we're right and they're wrong. It's BS. Every bit of it. You know? Every bit of it. So, yeah. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Sit around, talk about it. I'll carry on bitching here for another 20 years about all these people who do all... Oh, I'm tired of that already. Tired of it. You know, time to move on, brothers and sisters. Time to put a ground station of the Darkcity in Spain. It's actually, the software's already there, actually. I'll have to know. Strange, isn't it? That we come together to use open source to try and make this as free as we possibly can. And then you lot all come and join us.
Awesome.
More every day, man. There's more every single day. I'm not saying our numbers go up every day. But like, if we can all keep clicking them links, focus onto this. Rick's book, I've got to agree with that. Rick's book, got to. And then giving him his dream. Put him there on the ground. We get stage 1 done, we're only halfway there.
Yeah.
We're only halfway there. Give us €1 million.
Right.
Give us $1 billion, we'll build an health centre. Give us $1 trillion, give us 20 or whatever it is. I don't care, it's not worth anyway. It's not worth a bean. Any of it. Give us all that crappy, shitty money, right? And we'll buy a continent. We're getting old. I don't care. I'll buy it to set it free and give them all the money back. What do we need it for? We won't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I prefer not to. I prefer not to be buying land, you know. I would. You know, personally, if I had my way, I'd just buy myself a little lock-up garage down in Spain, you know, buy myself a nice big boat and just trundle over to Morocco and run me diesel engines on Rick Simpson's oil on my way back. Personally, I'd have built-in decarboxylating units on my car, on my engine. I purposely build my engine so it could only run on fuel oil made from hemp. I wouldn't accept for anything else at all. I mean, obviously, you'd have to mix that with something like tetracolor fluoride. Would probably work pretty well, you know, so it'd burn a little bit leaner. But when I get to the end, I'd just put it in my rice cooker and warm it up. And hey, hang on a minute, you mean that'd be legal? Well, I don't see why it wouldn't be illegal. It's fuel, isn't it? I don't know, man. I think if I had my way, I'd just smuggle it. I would, you know. But hey, it ain't about doing it my way or anybody else's way. You know, when you've got people in Africa who can't afford to do stuff, and they're probably some of the best growers in the world. If nothing else, let's get this set up and let's get our ambassador Rick Simpson. Let's send him to Africa.
Yeah.
Let's send him to Kilimanjaro. You know, let's send him to the North Pole. It would be great, wouldn't it? We could actually, right, get it together that much, and we could have that much coming in. That there's that many people with that board, right? We could actually go on a polar expedition, right, to grow cannabis in the ice.
That'd be awesome.
Why not? You know, that's where we should be. You know, I don't know. It was Max, actually. Max Bliss who put this in me today. He said, what's your drink? What's your drink? And I told him I didn't have one. I didn't have one. I deal in reality. I don't deal in dreams. And I still think I was right when I said it. But also, yeah, I suppose for many people what I'm talking about is a dream. But that's my reality. And I'm going to step right into it, Pete. That's it. I'm going to step into that. It's not a dream anymore. Can't be a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream. Why are we all connecting together? We're all connecting together on the internet now. We're all talking about... I mean, on the other hand, I might wake up tomorrow morning and nothing's happened. How am I going to explain the donations that have already come in? It's already happened. The network's begun. There's nothing can stop it now. Nothing can stop it. Radio goes off. It's too late. We click the button. We know where we're going to be, roughly. We know it's Spain. We know where we're heading. The worst thing comes together, we'll just get rid of everything and we'll meet up there. Because with the knowledge we've got, you can give us a barren piece of rock, we'll turn it green again. It's simple as that. We can find water where water cannot be found. You know, we can use 80% less water in our growing techniques than other people use currently. The standard agricultural techniques. We can use food. We can actually use fish to create the nitrates that are used to produce the food that we eat. If we're still eating protein of animals by then. Personally, I do, but hey, I might have something to learn there. It looks like not only have we got to change the way we actually socially interact with one another, but what we actually consume, where we consume it, and how we consume it. Food would seem, as far as I can get it, to be the most ceremonial thing any of us ever do.
Wow.
We gather together, we gather it, we come together with our friends and our families. You don't like to eat around people you don't like. Food should be treated ceremonially, as far as I'm concerned. It isn't, and I don't do it. I'm guilty, as charged by myself. I'll forgive myself and learn as quick as I can. So yeah, I can do it, and if I can do it, you can all do it. Surely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Surely. Of course, you've got to want it or need it in your life. Better to be a want than a need. Anyway, what are we doing? You lot. Come on, I can't keep rabbiting on all night. Will somebody else pick up a conversation here, right? Or my mouth's going to set solid through lack of tea.
Well, I think what's really interesting is the impact that all this information that's gone out there, what it's done is, once people realize that what Rick Simpson's saying is true, they really start to admire him and see him as a hero he is. And I think what happens to a lot of people is they want to be like him or be like that side of him, where they want to get this message out. And that's really good. It's this ripple effect that Rick Simpson's having, where he's doing so much good, at the same time he's inspiring thousands, soon maybe even millions and millions, to do really good too. And that, that's a very heroic movement that can't be stopped. And governments they're gonna do all these things to suppress us or whatever, but he started a movement that I think is really going to do so much good, and it's basically going to take off, because I honestly don't see a better movement. I don't see a better cause. All the lives that can be saved with this medicine, it's incredible.
Yeah, excuse me, man, I've just been taken back again. We've just had another €300 put into. We've just had another €300. We've just had another founder. We've had another founder. Excuse me. You get it. It don't matter how many people tell us, right? And I can't disagree with you, man. What Rick's done, I can't. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Can I come in over there?
Oh, but please come in and chat.
I've just been having a look around Google at Rick Simpson and just see it the last 24 hours, and there's a lot of people picking up on it and spreading the message, which is great to see. A lot of people doing some hard work for us. I put into Google, I thought I'll put in who is Rick Simpson into Google, and I got to the first letter S of Simpson, and there he was, suggested 4 spaces down.
Wow.
So that's quite a result. It shows that people are looking for him. bit of feedback.
Definitely.
Right, I just one thing here, because I've got Jabba saying to me, send me the names, right? Look, there's something we need to put on there. I don't know if all these people want the names on. I might be me being a bit paranoid, but we need to put something there, right? You know, if they want the names, because I've got these people's names. I've got a bit confused with it, because one's done it twice, but from the friend, and they've sent me text, and I need to sort it all out. I've got, how many windows have I got open the whole? I've lost count. So yeah, Jabba's there, right, getting the names, and I'm sure it's all right. It'll be all right. But I need to sort out an email, and I'll tell you how far I've got. Thanks for your donation. Welcome to history. Would you like your name to be used on the website? It's a bit blunt. But that's where I'm up to. That's really where I'm up to as I'm speaking. But yeah, I'll just tell you a little bit of what's going. Hi Bob. I've just got my husband to donate on my behalf because I've got a problem with my cars. Nice move. Yeah. I've got a problem with my cars. I've got a suspicion that that very dear lady might be back next week. Oh, what do you mean it worked, dear? Oh, dear me. Brilliant. Hey, absolutely brilliant. And like the other, I don't even know, excuse me, I don't know if I do actually know this other person or not. If I do, my apologies, but hey, often the names that are used there are not used, you know, on Skype or on Facebook. So yeah, if you are out there listening now, yeah, we do need to, I just need to verify that with you. I just need to find out if you're alright with that. If you're not alright with that, we use the last 4 digits of your confirmation number. Okay, that's what we actually use. So, or the transaction number, so you can identify that you're there. Yeah, so that gets us round that.
Okay.
Anyway, go on, mate.
You're talking about the consent of using people's names in this recording, or something else?
No, on the website. Not everyone who's donating to this.
Oh, okay.
The founder members may want to be known. I've already been contacted by a few people, you see, and the people want to have anonymity.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's and that's all right. I appreciate that. I really do. I've spoke out, man. I've put my head on the block in the hope, and that's all it is. Next to praying, others won't have to. Yeah. You know, I don't want to carry on with this. You know, it's a burden to me. It's as much about me as it is about everybody else. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. So, yeah, it can be difficult. We have got people who are, without giving too much away, man, they are in the medical profession. Yeah, there's people who are in services, police, ambulance drivers, paramedics. They can't come on. They can't come on, and we get that. I mean, I don't know how many of the shows you've heard yourself with Rick, but I think perhaps every other show we've had a message or a text or of someone who can't. And to be honest, there's a few who have spoke out who haven't actually revealed who they are and what they are. So, yeah, welcome, Andrew.
Welcome, Andrew.
How are you?
Well,
yes, this is Bob or Paul.
Bob or Paul, don't mind. Wait a second, Paul, I'm just gonna pause the live feed. That's okay.
Yeah, cool, man. We're not actually on for much longer. I've been, we've been waffling on actually. Me and Peter have been waffling
no, you're talking about anonymity, about people who donated.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm quite happy to be revealed, you know.
All right, mate. There you go. Andrew Lang, Jabba. Andrew Lang. I'll send you the information in. And the other one is in the same name as the husband. I think I'll check on that one. I don't know. I do my best. I'm not very good with secrets, Andrew.
I don't know I don't know where that came from.
No, it's not you. There's another one, man. There's been there's two coming. Well, we've been on air tonight, I think, and another donation as well.
Wow, great.
Yeah. So I just need. I've got that many windows open. I didn't know, but yeah, when I saw you come on, then it was like, right, okay. 2 and 2 together. We spoke on the phone, didn't we, Andrew?
We did earlier on the week twice.
We certainly did, man.
Well,
Certainly. We did actually kind of sort out the problem. Although we've put it in euros to sort it out, you should be able to pay it in any currency, because I've decided to collect it in the currency that it's been sent in. At least I think that's what I've managed to do. I'm not very good at that, but it's working.
I was happy to donate £300, and there's like a 10% difference or something. So I was also happy for you to use any difference to support the radio station.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. It is. But like I say, bro, it was just about getting it working and getting it. What the listeners don't know is Andrew was one of the people who kind of went, "Oi, where's the button?" And we're like, "What button?" And it was like almost instantly. You know,
Yeah.
it was suggested. He heard Rick, and he was like, "Right, oh, come on, how do I do it? How do I do it? I don't matter. I don't care. Come on."
No,
He was actually saying to me, "Well, I trust you. Just send it." Yeah.
I really do love how quickly this happened. And I'm 100% behind, man.
Yeah. Well, like I say, definitely now, this evening. Lee, who's with us now in Spain, we can move on. I mean, I've got to sleep, but tomorrow, most definitely. Lee can move on to speaking to a lady in question. And, you know, it's moved. It's moved. The first stage roughly cost about €500. That was stage one. Okay, the next stage gets a bit more expensive. We've got to go and get a rent on the place, and there's a few solicitors' fees. But yeah, with 33, I think it's 33 or 34. We should be up and running. I mean, minimum budget, up and running. 3 months rent paid. Yeah, I know we've got the 30 down, but that's for the rent and the running costs and all that. But like I say, minimum gets us there down on the ground with literally, you could say, a door and a piece of paper. We might not have any chairs to sit on or anything, but we'll have a grow on. The grow will be in there. It'll be legal. We haven't got a problem. It's been good.
This is the manifestation of a dream. Do you not understand how fantastic that is?
I'm beginning to, bro. I really am. I mean, Max, I said it earlier. I don't know but he did. It clicked with me. I was kind of a bit. I don't do that. I'm a realist, you know. I'm into reality. But yeah,
it happens on a completely different level. It happens on a completely different level. It happens in the imagination first.
Yeah.
And then it becomes reality.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I mean, for me, it's a bit different. It happened for me because I had something took away from me that I can't do without. And I've lost a lot of gear in my life, man. You know, and I don't mean, you know, cups and saucers and material stuff. I've had to kind of sort out that. For whatever the reasons, I don't hold any guilt or I don't hold any judgment towards what's gone on. It's gone on. It must have gone on for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to stopping growing, not being part of that, can't do it. I just can't do that. I failed there, you know, in what I'm prepared to give up.
And yet the beauty about it is you have done it. You've gone without it.
To me,
you need to go without it.
I don't want people to think I'm some lunatic, right? I don't. They probably do already, you know. But it's art. It's what I'm really good at.
It really is.
But you know, personally, it's what I'm good at. It's like I said it a while ago. I think, you know, some people they have a familiar. It's a cat. You know. for me, it was plants as a kid. It was the smell. That was the first thing. It was the smell of the greenhouse. It was just the smell of the greenhouse. And it clicked with me, and it was like, I suppose I fell in love. I fell in love with plants. So I'm not weird. You know, I don't sleep with dahlia or something, you know. But that's about the best I can describe it.
The crazy thing is when you're talking about plants, one of my fondest memories is in my dad's greenhouse, and he grew the spindliest, most useless tomato plants, but they had the most fragrant aroma. And
hang on. I've got a new flash. Hang on a minute, Jabba. We've got to stop everything. Right, we've made a fatal mistake. Jabba, I hope you're there, Jabba, listening. I'm sure you're listening, Jabba. Right. The very first payment, right, actually came from Martina Fleming. She made her husband pay for it on his card. The second payment.
God bless you, Martina.
I don't know. We'll have to have a look at the.
You're not worthy.
That was brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. And you see how I didn't know. So that's Martina Fleming, who's got her husband. She should be number one, and her husband's number two or number three. The poor man. The poor man. But brilliant. Massive supporter. That was one of the ladies, again, like yourself, Andrew, right at the beginning. She heard what we were doing, and she went, how can we help? What can we do?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
you know, there was no hesitation on my part.
Wow.
And I can't see how there would be. If you've got it to spare, give it to something that's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that you're gambling on, you know, if you're gambling on the fact that you won't get cancer, and you're like, what a great gamble.
Gamble, yeah, what a great gamble, yeah. You know, on the other
You're not going to get cancer, and you're like, what a great gamble that is, €300. I'll pay that any time.
And I know we're having a bit of fun with these numbers and stuff, and the first people to do it, and so it's crazy how it's actually gone on. I just want to let all them people know that have kind of pushed it this far, you know, that have pushed it this far. I don't want any of you thinking like, oh, we can't do it, and you want to, don't let that put you on a downer, right? Keep this running, you know, let's just keep pushing it. Yeah. We ain't got far to go. We've got, you know, that's how I say. I've got to. I don't want to say you've got. I don't want to say we've got. I don't want to speak for you like there. I really don't want to do that. Slip of my tongue. Slip of my tongue. I keep trying to end this show, you know, folks, right? And I've just lost the server now. I can't even see it. I'm going to have to close all these emails that I've been dealing with. Certain things I have to deal with. So, yeah. Where was I going then? Threw me off completely. Or getting up the server. Yeah, like I say, I keep wanting to end the show, and people keep logging on, keep coming back onto it. Lee's been noticing this. Just them people, like I say, that's where I was going. The ones of us, and including me at the moment, right? I haven't actually got €300 to put in the kitty at the moment. So I'm with the lot of you, right? I really am. I haven't got it, but I know I have. In other things, I have, right? And that's what it's about. Like I say, I'm not short of anything. I know a few people have got the impression I'm all right, mate. I'm doing fine. I have got that boat, and I have got stuff, and I do want to get rid of them. This is about me getting rid of a load of stuff. Like I say, I do kind of get that. People are saying, bring the boat to Spain, it'll be great fun. But I'm going to get me there. Going to get me there. We've got to get that stuff there. You see what I mean? That's all big stuff. It's all big stuff. And amongst us working together as we have, it isn't. That I can't seem to stress that point enough. It really isn't that difficult when we do come together. When we do, you know. So them people who are out there who you know, don't feel like, you know, you're not, because you are part of it, a massive part of it. Just remember, especially them, you know, and I mean, there's one guy, I'm not going to mention any names, but one guy was like, I'm just going to kind of shove in like $15 a month until I get there, right? And I'm like, oh no, you don't need to, you know, you don't do that, you know, honestly, don't. Oh yeah, man, I want to give it you while I've still got it. How can you argue? How can you argue with these people? So that's what I said. I'll tell you what, right? I'll stick you all together, because I'll stick them all together. There we go. Do you think there's another one? There's another one. Why not?
I'll tell you what, these people might not have big wallets, but they've got huge hearts.
Exactly, man. Exactly, and it's always the same.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
How big is your heart?
Yeah.
How much can you love the planet? How much can you love the man who's living next door to you?
Yeah.
Even though he's pissed you off at some point in your life. How much can you still love him?
Mm.
It's just easier to love people.
Yeah.
Just easier.
I know, and the fun, man. The fun that we just had there with Martina and it's not Bernard, is it? The Martina family. Excuse me, the Fleming family. The Fleming family. Excuse me, don't take it personally. It's terrible. If I can't see it in front of me, it drops straight out of my head. So Bernard. It was Bernard, wasn't it? Is it Bernard? Oh, excuse me. Sure it is. I should know, shouldn't I? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go and have a look. I could just click over here and have a look. Because he's there. Of course it was. I got it right. How would I forget?
Yeah.
Just had. Do you know that little bit of fun we've just had? It was like, oh, right. Oh, brilliant. And the joke we had earlier. And then, you know, to me, it's just like, that's the cement. If each one of them donations is a little stone in it, you know, then us lot talking about it, having fun about it, keeping the vibe alive, keeping pressing the buttons. That's the cement. That's what binds it all together.
Yeah.
That's what binds it together. So yeah, Hemp night, Wednesday night, Hemp night. But look, you lot have got a kind of like, you're the stars, you're the actors, you're the players. Yeah, you're the players in this role. Right, it's life really, but this is just like an excerpt out of life at Darkcity. It's just like a slice. Yeah, when you're all playing the leading roles now. You're doing, all of you. You know? And the listeners, yeah, you're listening. Don't think, oh well, I'm not up there and I'm a bit timid and all. Look, try it out. Just ring in, right? Just ring in the station and then hang up.
Here you go, guys.
No, just ring up and hang up.
I did.
And then you'll get the text. You know? Yeah, you did it, didn't you? We were even on it. And look, if you're a bit nervous about being live, then we were actually here before we go on air. Now, I'm trying not to be here after we go on air, because if I'm here after we go on air and I'm here before we go on air, then there's this period that in between that's missing called sleep. But look, as we open this up, it's dead easy. It's dead easy because the Bob's Backyard ID can be moved about, people, and it can go on. It could go on. So potentially, the conversation can go on forever. The button never needs to be clicked again. We never need to pass it around with people, and it can go on forever. That's the potential. There's no more pre-recorded shows. No, not on that channel. It could go on forever. Just moving from one topic to another, from one country's time zone into another country's time zone. Thanks, Dawn. Dawn's just left us, folks, at the room. Absolutely brilliant, Dawn. Thanks for your assistance tonight.
Yeah, you will.
Don't know what I would have done with that massive amount of text. I couldn't even find it. So yeah, reading's not my strong point. Really isn't. Andrew, go on, mate. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, be well done. You know, I like everybody to be well. And that's what the oil's about. It's about being well.
Mm.
You know, the crack is that people used to believe that the doctors would help them to be well. And I remember going to my doctor as a young'un, and I always had faith and trust that whatever the doctor gave us will make us better. It's not the case anymore. And that's the problem.
Well, you know, I reckon all good things come to them that way, Andrew. What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You reckon you waited long enough to say hello to Rick?
Yeah, I would love to say hello to Rick.
Hey, Rick. How you doing, mate?
Hey. Oh, not too bad, brother.
It's been pretty successful this evening, Rick. I don't know if you managed to tune in. There you go.
No, I didn't have time. How did it go?
Well, step one's completed, Rick. I've got to kind of have a look at it, but I know there's at least 3 donations come in this evening.
Yeah.
Of the €300, Rick. So that first €500 stage we needed to get through, we kind of knocked that little door down, mate. That went down quite easily this evening. I'm pretty made up, Rick. I mean, we were stopping like, I don't know how long ago. We just keep rolling on, Rick. We're just rolling on, mate.
What is the show's not still going, is it?
Yep, we're still rolling, Rick.
Oh, okay.
We're still live on air, bro.
Okay.
Still live on air. Hey, did we catch you, bro? Hey, we caught you. So yeah, really good, Rick. Andrew, who's on with us now, he was one of the guys who actually contacted me and complained we didn't have a button the day you made your announcement, Rick.
I'm the button dude, Rick.
Okay, we need button hoods.
And Bernard and Martina Fleming, who again, they heard before Rick, before you made your statement, they've been incredibly supportive, and you know, they've both done it. We've had quite a bit of fun, really, because Martina couldn't get her card to work, so she's done it on her husband twice.
I'm sure he'll like that.
Yeah, we are pretty certain her husband does know.
I hope so.
And we've had a couple of smaller donations as well, Rick. Of people basically they just want to contribute. They just want to contribute, Rick. I've tried to say to certain people, no, you're all right. It's okay. You know, we're all, and they're like, no. We're just going to put it in until we get there. So it's beautiful, Rick. I don't know what to say, man. I know you had loads of confidence in it. I know I didn't mean to put a blocker on it or anything like that, man. You know, you take enough hits, and sometimes your outlook's not as good as it could be. So I think I'm learning to dream again, Rick.
Well, this is all going to turn into a damn good dream in the very near future. It has to, for Christ's sakes. I mean, with all the people that know about this, my God, they're going to beat our doors down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you know, €300 to get your name written in history. I've got my mate here with me, man. I've got my mate here with me, right, Paul, and I'm actually gonna try and sneak off right as soon as possible and get some of the stuff out of my garage and get it on eBay, Rick. So I mean, I'd be a crying shame if I don't get my name on now. I want to get on there. No, hang on a minute.
I'd be happy to pay €300 to have my name written in anonymity. You know, as long as the medicine gets out there, I don't care.
No, man. No. The thing is, like, I want to put the people there. I want the names to go there. If I had my choice, I want them there. That's what I'd have.
What I'm saying is, I don't mind either way.
I know, bro. I know. Well, you know.
Don't mind either way.
As I want them to be there.
As long as it gets to the people.
No, there's a risk. Can you imagine what happens, right? You know, if this is right, and like I say, I have issues with this, but let's say they're right and we are right in history. You can't blank your name out and write Anon. I mean, what the... Do you know what I mean? People later, aren't they? And they're going to go, what? That Anon gas did all sorts of gear, didn't he? No, I mean, it's right, man. I mean, what is it anyway? It's a name, innit? That's all it is, really. It's not that important. I mean, the money's not... I've got to agree with you, man.
It could even be stolen. You know what?
It could have been made up and given to you by your parents without your consent, couldn't it?
My name was obviously borrowed from somebody else's idea. And it wasn't my parents to give us to start with. So, you know, my name is probably stolen from somebody else's idea.
Well, my name was actually made up by my dad. So, hey. No, literally, I haven't got my father's original surname. My dad changed his surname. So.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can sign up 3 more. You sign me up and Yindrich up. And when I get there, I'm probably going to have to bring somebody like a secretary or something because I'm going to have to deal with so damn many things. So there'll be 3 more you can sign right up there, too. And I'll pay you when I get there, I guess. But sign us up.
Yeah, we'll sort it, bro.
I'm not sure you can raise the credit for Rick, though, Paul, can you?
No. No. We don't, unfortunately, man, we don't judge anybody to be any greater or smaller on Rick, especially on Rick's show, because he'd chew my ear off something wicked if I did that. We're all equal, man. We're all equal. No, of course Rick Simpson can't have any credit.
I already got enough.
I'm going to sneak in and say hello.
That's exactly right, Rick. Exactly right, man. You don't get no credit, I'm telling you. You can't have credit. Your credit is no good here, Mr. Simpson. You've already paid your bill in full, sir. You know, I tell you what, if I took a brass button off you, I'd get lynched.
Oh no, I mean I'm just a club member, the same as anybody else. But I'm telling you right now, brother, once we get up, we get in Spain and we start producing these oils the way I want to produce them, we're gonna blow the top right off of this thing. These oils are just beyond comprehension. So I think everybody, once they get on them, they're gonna love the effects. It's just amazing what you can do if you go about it the right way.
Really.
Apparently, Rick, what you call actual preventative medicine using oil, okay, what they're actually calling, they're giving it another name, but it's social use, basically. Right. You're quite right, actually. I mean, people have actually got onto, but I mean, it's a bit, and we had a caller today, earlier, man, and like he said, it's not very medical. They're actually using it, they think, to get a hit. That's what they're doing with it.
Why not?
Yeah, well, this is what I've tried to point out. I mean, at first, like I say, what people are calling social users, when you kind of again chewed me here. I do love that, Rick. I got a minute, pal. I got a minute. They're not social users. You know what I'm like? Well, I've got to teach. The old dog's got it right, Rick. You got it right, man. You got me again. You're quite right. I am not, and this is how it got me to realising that I could do with running the bash as well. Obviously I wouldn't need the quantities, but, to get myself through that, to go through it, because you've got me. I am actually using preventative medicine. And to be honest, I'm not into preventative medicine. I'm actually into cures. And, that may be a little bit of an hypocrite. Got to admit that, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. So,
hey, well, Bob, you've got to know that preventative measures with the girls is always better than cures.
Oh, but I just can't say no.
Hey, I'm going to sneak in to say hello to Brother Rick there. How you doing, Rick?
Oh, hey, Barry. Good to hear from you, brother. I've been trying to call you 2 or 3 times
Yeah,
today.
I know. We've been playing Skype tag.
Skype tag, okay. Well, this is the last thing I expected. I thought the show would be over 2 hours ago, so I guess this is a long one.
Well, I was out. I was in, and then I was out, and I came back from work because my back gave out on me today. So I'm just kind of resting here, putting ice on it right now, and go see the chiropractor. Yeah, first time in a long time, but it happens. You push it too much, and it breaks down on you a bit. But it's a minor glitch in the road. But yeah, all kinds of good things happening out here, bro. It's just the circles just seem to be getting bigger, and inquiries every day about new people now that are hearing about you. So I'm trying to line up a real good gig for us in the Lower Mainland. It looks like about 8 days down there, Rick.
Okay.
So yeah, and you're getting to see all of Lower British Columbia, and got people offering to drive you around and places to stay, and it's just going good. I'm not talking. I'll stop.
No, it's all right. I want you to let us have the dates for those so we can put them up on the site and let people know when they're down there. We have had a lot of inquiries regarding what's going on down there in Canada.
I'll book them all because I'm going to have a set itinerary here for Rick. I mean, we're doing Nanaimo, and now Vancouver is definitely, there's a group there that's forming right now as we talk. I was just talking to him before I got on here, and Penticton and Nelson's got an incredible group forming up there. I was talking to Selma last night, and then he was on the show again today. And it's going to be a good time. You're going to get to see British Columbia, which is kind of cool. We'll tie in a tour of the province and some opportunity to get to talk to a whole bunch of cool people. The Vancouver Island group, Rick, is really, really active. Tremendous support on the island for what's going on with this.
A great way to end the first Wednesday Hemp night. And this kind of was the Darkcity special show, or is it the Darkcity Roundtable? It's the Darkcity Roundtable, which we dubbed Wednesday Hemp night. Which did not feature Rick Simpson at all, right? Rick Simpson doesn't come on a Wednesday night, and he's not actually here with us now. That was actually a very badly done recorded message of Rick. Okay, I don't want people to start. Okay, so would you like not to say good night, everybody?
Well, is it possible I could
Was this the end of the show?
Hang on. Well, yeah. Look, it should be the end of the show, right? But hey, it's our radio, and we're on the hour again. We're at 11 o'clock now, right? We started at 7. That's 4 hours more. But before we go, if it's all right, would it be all right? And I'm sure it is, Peter. Don't say hello to Rick, right? Because Rick's not here. But you know that other guy who looks like Rick, who sounds like Rick.
And he's here.
Say hello, Peter. Excuse me, man. Say hello.
Hey, Rick. It's definitely an honor. You said there's a possibility I could ask you a question about the medicinal properties of marijuana?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, what happened is I have a vaporizer that has collected what looks like Rick Simpson oil. I can't actually afford to make the Rick Simpson oil, but it seems like in one piece of the vaporizer, over like 2 or 3 years, some oil collected. And my mother, she has some cancer on the side of her face, so like a little cancer tumor. So I've been using that oil and putting it on her. But and I'm having kind of mixed results. I'm not sure if it's shrinking or, I mean, definitely not growing. But I was just wondering if I could ask you, have you heard of people using oil that came off their vaporizer? And the fact that it's been exposed to air for like 2 years, does that mean the quality of the oil could have been lowered? Or do you have any opinions on that?
Well, if it was left, in a vaporizer, you're talking about the glass top in a vaporizer. Over time, it could depreciate because, it's getting more heat, more air, more light all the time. So it could depreciate somewhat, but I've taken oil. Excuse me. I've taken oil out of a vaporizer, because I used to vaporize the real high-quality oils. And when the when the dome on the vaporizer caught the cannabinoids, all it was getting was the cannabinoids. All any plant waxes, anything like that's left behind in the bowl. So, these oils that I took off the vaporizer were just amazingly strong, like 3-4 times stronger than even the best oil that I was making. So I think this is a great way to go.
Okay.
But as for the cancer, a lot of the time people get they'll have a skin cancer or something like that. And, years go by and the cancer slowly spreads. It might just look like one little spot, but it can spread under the skin, to quite a big area. So a lot of the time when you start treating it, it seems like not much is happening, but you start to get these little tugging sensations, and the patient does, and as time goes by, it sucks the cancer right back to that hole, And if you just like I've always said, treat it till it's completely gone, and then treat it for 2 weeks as if it was still there, just to make sure you kill any residual cells. And I've never had anybody that developed cancer in the same place in the future.
Thank you so much.
So really, the ideal solution is to bathe in it, Rick.
I would agree.
Just as a precaution.
That's what we'll all have. We'll have a whole bunch of swimming pools, and everybody will have their own swimming pool to sleep, or big, not a swimming pool, but a tub. Everybody will have their own tub to sleep in.
Blow it out. Let's have a communal pool, Rick. We'll be right.
Hey, somebody'd only go and pee in it.
Yeah,
Hot
there'll be
tub
no
of
pee in
oil,
it.
man.
Hot tub of oil.
Yeah, plenty of hot tubs.
Oh, can you imagine, bro?
Wow.
I think I'll just sit in here for a couple hours and cook.
Right, guys, come on, say goodnight to the listeners. Thank you, listeners, for staying with us. There is a crowd out there still. Like I say, this was not the Rick Simpson show, followed by the Hemp show, which did not have Rick Simpson on it. And this is not Darkcity Radio. And I don't know who I am now. I just know I have to leave the station to go to the toilet after 4 hours.
Okay, then I'll sign off too. But that was great, guys. I'm glad you called.
Good.